you and James and Kerry and Brooke and Skip and Linton and Moyley. There's another great example. Until Aussies come here, they don't understand just how brutal it is for Aussies to succeed over here.
Yeah, no, it is. It's really tough. There's a lot of guys here that could go home and win some big races that no one's ever heard of. The competition is really intense. So you have to bring your A game, and it is as hard. You have to just, like I said, just keep taking the kick downs and try to perform, and hopefully you get an opportunity.
So Eric, you got to meet a guy the other day that you hadn't even heard of, and he's a young man, but a guy called Kyle Hurst has done right. You see the smile on his face? Pretty handy down in Australia, right?
Yeah, he won the Classic. I mean, that's our pinnacle race. As far as besides Australian title, which they can't race. I mean, that's as big as it gets. That's our Knoxville Nationals.
Why do Aussies love Americans and Americans love Aussies? I'm interested in your take on this.
Man, I don't know Americans do.
Oh, I think they love Aussies, mostly. But between our two countries.
Yeah, and it's thanks to racing. Honestly, it's something we both share a love for and a passion. And it's created a lot of friendships and relationships over the years. I go home and I see a lot of faces from here, and I see a lot of faces from back home. So it's great.
What is the Classic? You referenced it for people who don't know.
The Classic it's basically our Knoxville Nationals. 2 qualifying nights. We don't have the Hard Knocks night, but 2 qualifying nights and a final night, and big payday, most prestigious race there is.
Where's it held?
Warrnambool, Victoria.
What track?
What's that?
What track?
Premier Speedway.
So for someone who doesn't know, what's Premier Speedway race like?
It's called Premier.
Premier.
But it's spelled P-R-E-M-I-E-R. So how would you say that?
Premier.
Wrong.
But it's Premier.
It's Premier.
I'm going to try to stop before I put myself into a hole, but how does that... Yeah, I know.
We're here, it's Premier, okay? I can get that right.
No, it's right. How does that track race? What's the kind of characteristic of it?
It's probably about this big. It's a lot rounder, a lot wider. I mean, they've got 9 seconds around there. You're hauling ass around there. It gets normally slick, right to the fence. I haven't actually ran on it since they put the new dirt in. But no, it's awesome. It's a lot of fun. Everything happens really fast, and it's a good time.
I was there when Scott qualified in through Hard Knock into the Knoxville Nationals A main. Incredibly, one of his great mates was just in front of him, Davey Heskin. You both were screaming at each other and very emotional. There was tears everywhere. I mean, Davey cries a lot. He's a bit of a rom-com kind of guy, but why does it mean so much to make a race like that?
I mean, that is hands down the biggest race in the world, In your right from hot laps, everything has to go right. If you don't qualify, you're buried. If you don't get out the heat race after qualifying good, you're buried. It's just one thing after the other. All the stars have to align, and it's just, if you miss it, you don't get to try again for another whole year. So it's another year of dwelling on it, etc. What can I do different? So it's to make it is pretty awesome.
How much, Siri, is $100,000 American in Australian dollars?
He already knew.
Oh, Dom's already done it.
Dollars is $154,980.
They could buy a lot of giraffes for a safari. We're going to talk about that later on. What would you even think about doing with that?
$100,000. First thing I don't know what I'd do actually.
You go into business with Dom. He's going into the wildlife business.
Yeah.
And apparently leaving the sport tonight.
Yeah.
The wildlife business. I don't even want to know what that involves with that guy.
Giraffes.
Zoo and giraffes.
Giraffes, actually, and Justin Youngquist.
Nice little homestead away.
Can you give yourself the luxury of thinking about that kind of money, mate?
Not really, no. I'm just focused on the job ahead. If it happens, it happens. But you don't want to, can chickens for your head check.
Dom's obviously raced in Australia over the years, and he's actually a really...
He just said struggle bus.
Let's not talk about this weekend, but he's a very loved figure in our sport down in Australia, and we did talk about how Aussies do love Americans. We love them coming down. We just don't want them to win.
This is true. No, I think he's a lovable character on 2 continents. So, he's one of the nice guys you'll meet. He's funny sometimes, and he does a pretty good job of racing a race car.
How many years now has this experience been for you? And pretty like overwhelming experience when you first started this. Do you think you'd still be here doing this at this point?
No, honestly, I didn't think I'd actually get racing. I came in 2012 just as a crew guy to try and learn what I could, and I bought my first race car and sent it home. And it just kind of snowballed from there.
Well, Scott, thank you so much. We appreciate your time, and good luck tonight.
It's palmy, not
Chicken
Palmer.
palmy.
It's very, very important. Rolling in his flip-flops. I love the way he just... Have a look at the outfit. What do you got on the back of your shorts? You got crap all over the back. Oh, my goodness me. Is that... It looks like leftover taco is what it looks like. I love it hanging out with this guy. Folks, hold on tight. Dom Selby, round of applause, everybody, for him. Dominic with an I, not an E. That messes up a lot of people on the Google search, by the way. Did you do that on purpose?
Oh, man, I don't know what I did.
That interview at some point last night you did with Eric discussing your immediate sprint car future about what would you do if you won $100,000 and really a giraffe sanctuary, is that what I'm sort of hearing?
I mean, giraffes would be a part of it. Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't just be giraffe sanctioned, but we'd probably have gorillas and tigers. And, I mean, anymore, like in the United States, you can buy a tiger for like $2,100.
You know,
Got
Oklahoma.
that priced out.
Exactly. I mean, Tiger King's still in jail, so I'm pretty sure I could get into that property and that zoo pretty cheap. So, I mean, I've got it laid out. I mean, I'm not going to say I did a lot of groundwork, but, I mean, we've got the legal documents ready to sign. Just got to have the money now.
All right, so John Hager, I said his name out loud and I shouldn't have already. Now, you and I are both connoisseurs of fine.
walk away.
Hang on.
Oh, walking away.
You don't have to be on camera, but I need a favor. You and I are connoisseurs of fine food. I think that's well documented. Can you organise us at short notice some plant-based nuggets for Dom and I to try real quick?
Oh, I could get 3.
I mean, I can imagine the atmosphere in the PA booth later will be electric. I'm just saying they're plant-based nuggets. I'm a little worried, Dom.
I can't believe John's even acknowledging me today. I kept him up pretty late last night.
He told me he got you turned over.
I don't know who got who turned over, but there was definitely issues in the campground last night. Stories were told, beers were drank, but you know, it's always a blast coming up here, and like guys like John and Kevin and the whole group of people up here. It makes this race so special, and you know, I've been lucky to race a lot of cool places, but this race and this track, the atmosphere is unlike anywhere else. It's really cool. So, you know, unfortunately, we have plant-based nuggets here. You know, we're
Sushi.
And sushi. I mean, that's questionable, but the plant-based nuggets, really, come on.
Well, we're about to find out. If I look at you in the points here, Dom.
You can do it.
Hang on a second. I've just about found you. What the hell, mate?
Honestly, man, that's what this race has done to me the last 2 years. I mean, last year we got upside down in the first lap of a heat race and was off for 3 months after that or 2 months after that. And then this year just, I mean, I would go so far to say probably the slowest car in the pit area all weekend long. I don't know what our issue is, but it's incredibly frustrating. Our guys have worked so hard. We haven't changed anything. Last week, or the last 7 races, the worst we finished was 5th, and we were on the podium every night but 2, and now we can't even get out of our own way. So not sure what the hell's going on, but yeah, definitely don't have speed. Last night in the feature, we drove up from 24th to I think 12th, and then you know, someone got into us there on the restart with 6 to go and got a flat left rear. But I mean, it's just been hair pull out. I mean, I don't even know what to say. I mean, it's just it's been hard to stomach. You know, I mean, we roll in here, our first dirt cup ever, and you win. When you win the dirt cup, I mean, that's special, right? You know, that's, to me, this is a crown jewel event, and for a West Coast guy, this is definitely a crown jewel event. And we came here our first year and we won it, and it was nothing. And we rolled back the next year and we led a bunch of laps, and you know, Sunshine got by us and beat us, and then we come back the next year and we run 4th, and it's like we can't do any wrong. And then the last 2 years, I mean, have just been horrendous. So I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, you just got to keep plugging away. I've got really good guys in my heat race, and you know, I definitely don't want to have to run that 20-lap B main. So we're just going to do whatever we can do. I mean, that's the hard thing about this race is, I mean, you look at the points and it's hard to kind of decide, oh, this guy should be here, this guy should be there. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a tough race, and you've got 40 some of the best guys in the country that are going at it. So who knows what we're going to get.
With the field just being even as strong tonight, how do you move up through your heat race and try to put yourself in the best position, maybe get to that pole shuffle, and at least avoid the B-main?
To be honest with you, Eric, I'm not looking at passing race cars. I'm just looking at maintaining. We really haven't been able to pass any cars all weekend. So besides the main event last night, we haven't been able to pass anybody. We need to just stay fourth at this point. I mean, I am in the most dire of survive modes that I've been in a long time. So I don't know. We just we need to run at least fourth in our heat race. If we can get somebody, great. But I'm not even looking towards that. I mean, the dash it's a pipe dream. We just got to roll in and hopefully put ourselves in the show. I mean, that sounds pretty dire, but I mean, it's genuinely where we're at. I mean, we haven't had anything go our way. We passed 13 cars in the main event, 12 cars in the main event last night, and we have 0 to show for it. So I know it's a shame. Our guys have worked so hard, and Jimmy and Brent and Tyler and Mike. I mean, they've busted their butts all week long, and man, we just have nothing to show for it.
Sport and everything can always be a big mental game. Mentally, how do you keep ahead of that and not let that just get you down? Because I'm sure it can be really easy.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's been tough. It's been a lot. Last year was definitely a rough season for us, and then we ended strong. We were second in Trophy Cup points by 1 spot behind Corey Day, and I mean that went down to the last lap, and we ran really good late, and then the beginning of this year we had some hope, and then it's just been a really terrible 2 years for us, and we're doing our best to try and build back. We had a great week leading up to this. Like I said, we were just very fast and very competitive. We qualified good. We raced good. Honestly, I felt like we were coming in as a competitor to possibly win this thing, and then you just get all the wind taken out of your sails. So for us, I mean, I'm just looking to survive tonight and hopefully get in the show. And I don't know. Every time you try and build confidence back, it just gets snatched from you. So not sure. The track race is a little bit different than what it has years past, but I mean, we just haven't been good. And
All right, no more
I don't know.
talk. No more negative talk, all right? I want forward-thinking Dom. When life gives you lemons, you make hard lemonade, right?
Or tacos.
Well, yeah. So remember Brady Bacon had that monumental sugar honey iced tea mixer and he turned it into a T-shirt. I noticed some of your merch reflects a little bit of social media commentary. You're able to take, an online assassination that you took very personally, and you created a merch line out of that. The washed up line, I thought, was tremendous, very inspiring.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely didn't take it personal. It's just, I like to make a joke out of stuff, and that was back when you could laugh at the racetrack. But like I said, it's just, I don't take too much serious. I just, you kind of, like, my whole demeanor is off of how we're running, and, when you're going good, you're feeling good, and when you're not, you're not. So, luckily we got some beautiful merchandise, but, just going to plug away at whatever we can.
You are the only male in a house full of very powerful young women. Let me just put it that way. Explain how the Selzy house works and what part you play in that ecosystem.
Yeah, so I've got 3 beautiful girls that live with me and 2 great dogs, and I'm full-blown dad. There's no question about it. So that's a lot of fun chasing them around. They're here this weekend. So my oldest, she keeps asking, "Daddy, go faster." I hear you. So we're just.
I think her mum is saying that quietly under her breath.
Yeah, we all are for sure. But it's fun having them out, and it's just it's great to have them at the races. When you have bad nights, they can kind of make it hurt a little bit less. And I think a lot of people don't realize how much this sport means to the drivers, and this is our life. I mean, this is our life. So there's 26 guys in the main event tonight that, I mean, all 26 of them dream of moments like tonight, and someone's going to go home very happy.
Wives and girlfriends, they're so emotionally invested in this. If you have a great night, they're like, "Oh, cool, he'll talk on the way home." If you have a sugar honey iced tea night, it's not so much conversation. They're going to sit next to someone in the stands that might be, chirping at you, that sort of stuff. I can't imagine what it's like to be that person.
My wife's a saint. I mean, I think a lot of the fans see that, my joking, fun, personality a lot of times, but she sees the other side, and she sees the side of the sleepless nights and the long hours, and like you say, the bad nights where, someone might be, "Oh man, this guy's no good anymore," or whatever it is, and she's my biggest cheerleader, my wife, and when you're going through what we're going through as a team, when it does feel pretty dismal, she's the person that she doesn't even need to build you up. She can just accept, hey, it's tough right now, and it builds you up. This sport definitely beats you down, and she's really good at keeping me on my top.
I spoke to Bud Kading yesterday. 29 years he's been in the game. He's going to have to change his number to 30 next year. Incredible to think that Bud's been in this game 3 decades.
Yeah. I mean, I was watching him when he was a kid. He was Kyle Larson before Kyle Larson was Kyle Larson. And, I remember him like 19, 20 years old racing back in Indiana. And, I mean, just being a monster in the non-wing sprint cars. And, I was always a fan of Bud and Tim and BK, of course. And, now you look at it, and he's the old guy of the group, really. So, right now.
Still looks good, though, mate. He doesn't look like an old man.
Absolutely. Right now, I mean, he's a guy that's kind of been struggling a little bit, too. But, I mean, he's done so much and accomplished so much in his career. I mean, he's, in my opinion, a Hall of Famer. So it's cool to race with a guy like that. And we've definitely had a lot of fun together throughout the years.
If anyone has any questions for Dominic, please feel free. We'll take a couple live questions.
Any of
Going
Dominic's
once.
kids want to ask a question? We're just checking on how the plant-based nuggets are going. I think they're
I
being
don't know.
prepared.
He was walking over that way. I did see John. He's on the phone. He's trying to find out for us.
Your dad, of course, is an icon in drag racing. Was that ever a point where you were headed that way?
Absolutely not. I'm a
Because sometimes it seems like it.
No, I'm a sprint car guy through and through. I went to my first sprint car race in Sedalia, Missouri. It was a World of Outlaw show, and I just fell in love. And from that point on, my mom and I, we just chased sprint car racing everywhere we went. And whenever my dad could go, he'd always go with us. But I mean, we saw outlaw races at Kokomo. We saw USAC races in Pennsylvania. I mean, we saw all kinds of stuff all over the world. And I mean, we were sprint car people. So when I was old enough to race sprint cars, it was a no-brainer. I mean, we knew that was the route we all wanted to go. And now my brother, with the success he's had in his career, has been great. And we just love sprint cars. I mean, more than anything else. Drag racing is great, God bless it. But this is racing. This is the best form of motorsport.
Why did you love sprint cars? What made you go, wow, this is what I want to do?
Well, I think it's the same that you thought, right? I mean, when you watch them and they look cool, these big oversized wing and these huge tires, and they're so fast. I mean, they're faster than any other car out there. I mean, they have the same power to weight ratio as a Formula One car, and they race on dirt. So to me, they just the way they looked wicked. And then when you watch them get on the gas and they're winged over left and they're wide open, I mean, they're just a beautiful race car. And then when you drive them and you realize that they can either be the most easy race car in the world to drive, I mean, literally drive themselves, and then you're off a little bit and they are the biggest handful. I mean, it feels like you're in a fist fight with a gorilla. And, to be the guy in control of that is very special. I mean, you look at the guys that are leading the race and they look pretty comfortable. And you look at the guy like it's in 15th and he is fighting for his life to keep that thing on all fours. And there's beauty in that, and I've always loved that, and I love driving.
How do you manage? We talked to Tanner about that YouTube racing, but manage that racing and then working too. You sell the Enterprise.
Yeah, so I haven't worked at Selzy Enterprises in probably 6 years, but I work at. That's all right. It's okay.
So
We'll let that one slide.
he's managing it pretty well by the sound of it.
Yeah. So this probably is great. I don't know. You have to ask somebody that works there, but
Business has never been better, actually.
My bad.
So for me, I actually run my mom's transportation company. So we're a freight broker in Fresno, California, and we work all across the United States. And one thing that's great about the motorsports is like you can tie it into the racing. We've got a lot of customers that are involved in racing, and we have a lot of people that are fans that are like, oh, hey, I need these tractors moved. I'm going to call Dominic, or hey, I've got this crop cuticle, or I've got we've got 38,000 pounds of raw chicken that we're transporting, and it's amazing. You would be blown away with how many people are racing fans that I actually work with every single day in business. So, I'm sure there's fans here tonight that are in the transportation field, and whether they manage a company's transportation or whatever. I mean, we literally ship everything. Mike Brown, racing here, the 1M that absolutely smoked the fence.
Alaska, that Trey Starks
Alaska
got him.
Yeah, we just shipped. They were 59,000 pounds, 61-foot long pieces of concrete bridge up to Alaska for them. So, I mean, we just do all kinds of stuff.
From chicken meat to bridge construction.
That's me. I'm just all over the place, and That's what I'm good at. So, it's a lot of fun, and it gives me the ability to kind of go away. Like I work on the road and stuff, but I highly recommend if you're in the transportation world. I mean, even if you don't use us, come talk to me about it or whatever. I always love meeting people that are in the transportation world, and I think I've grown such a passion for that. When the racing's not good, business is good. So it's a lot of fun to be able to talk to somebody in the transportation world.
So if someone rings up and says, I need 12,000 pound of taco meat shifted somewhere, is there a percentage that you take off the top for that, or what? How does that work?
I actually do that, believe it or not. I ship beef all across this beautiful country, and I don't steal a whole lot, maybe a little bit.
Steal is a very harsh word.
I mean, if you're shipping it, one or two can just go missing. And
Borrow some prime cuts of filet now and then. But
have you seen the movie Tommy Boy?
yes.
Because did you eat paint chips as a kid? This story seems very Tommy Boy to me.
I was telling the story last night. I'm like, yeah, my mom used to tell me something as she dropped me, and then the guy was like, yeah, it was probably when she threw you on the ground. But no, it's actually funny. One of our customers back home, he's a racing fan, and the owner of the business raced sprint cars back in the day, which is funny enough. I didn't even know that when we started doing business. And he calls me up and he goes, what are we going to do about this McFadden guy? Do we need to call immigration? I mean, what's going on here? So it was kind of funny. He was following along, and it's neat that our partners are involved in the racing and they watch it and follow it. So it's always fun. But yeah, I mean, we get to ship some cool stuff. No giraffes yet, but can we ship giraffe meat? Is that okay?
Whoa.
Can you
we
have
just go with
giraffe meat?
giraffe?
I don't know. Can you eat giraffe meat?
Awfully
What's
tall
the
container.
coolest thing you shipped?
The coolest thing I would say would probably be like race car parts. We've shipped race car parts to the racetrack for some drag racers. A bridge was really cool. I mean, that's pretty neat. Some other cool stuff that we were able to ship would be like Selzy Enterprises, that I don't work there anymore, Eric. But
My apologies.
we'll do full complete units for them. So like they build service trucks, flatbeds, dump trucks, water trucks, all that kind of stuff. We'll have the complete unit. I mean, several $100,000 units up on a step deck, delivering it all across the country. And some of these things are way overweight, over limit. We once hauled a machine that was it was like a $7,000 machine or $7 million machine that was all broken down, and it was, I think it worked out to be like 7 different shipments. And all that kind of stuff you have to organize with the pickup, with the delivery, and then you have to get permits on every state you drive through, escorts through every state. So there's a lot of organization involved in it, and I never thought I would have liked that stuff, but it's so fun talking to some of these drivers. I had a driver come to Elma, him and his 10 children. I mean, how do you have 10 kids? You're on the road all the time. You got 10 kids? Get a TV, But it's so cool. Like, just the relationships that you build is really, really neat in the industry, and I think it's similar to racing. Like, people love what they do in the transportation world, and people love what you do in motorsports. So then when you can create some synergies there, it's awesome. I keep telling Kevin we need to do some truckloads of $100 bills to the casino for him. That way he has backup whenever he hits the wrong number on roulette.
There's there would be a thing as conflict of interest. Have you ever thought if the deal did come up for, say, I don't know, national distribution for Taco Bell, would you knock it back? Is that a little too close to home?
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you what.
I'll try that now.
I've kept Taco Bell in business. I mean, there's no discrepancies here. I like to eat, so I like to eat. I mean,
where are our
wherever it
plant-based
tastes.
nuggets? I feel like that's not happening. Are we getting plant-based nuggets or not?
And this is the problem with Skagit Speedway right here. This John Hager guy, we've ordered our food here 20 minutes ago, and we're still waiting.
They make it to order.
It's a shame. I'm going to have to talk to Kevin about this. The service here, we're going to have to definitely get it
Go over the
updated.
top? Go to
Yeah, we're going to
Kevin?
have to go above John, unfortunately.
How are you feeling about tonight? You're going to have to dig. You're going to have to dig. I've spoken to Nicole and the girls. They're expecting big things.
Yeah, I mean, we passed a lot of cars last night, I mean, and that was in 26 laps. So we've got 30 or 40, however many laps. How long is it? How long am I going to have to do this
40
tonight?
laps.
How long am I going to have to do this tonight? You've probably heard that a few times, actually, from inside your house.
Definitely not. Good.
All right.
We're going to fix this right now. Hang on. No, 40 laps is a long time. And, now I'm going to have all night. So, it can be done. It can be done, but it's hard to pass in the heat races here. And I think we, for me anyways, like I was telling Eric earlier, we haven't been able to do it. So my goal is you maintain, you run top 4 in the heat race, you roll off 20th for the feature, and you do what we did last night. You attack from lap 1. And, I mean, this place tire wear is amazing. We haven't burned off a single tire yet. So that's unlike the last 5 races we've run. But, I think that as long as we can be quick. Oh, here come our Nuggets, finally. John, let's see a hustle. Come on. Knees to chest, knees to chest. No, I think that we've got a good shot. As long as we get in the feature and we're not in the B main, then you got some guys behind you that way the fast guys can race them first. Stay on the lead lap, pass a lot of cars, and don't slow down.
Ladies and gentlemen, plant-based nuggets delivered by the one, the only, John Hager. I apologize for his actions, by the way.
John,
Right.
Disneyland would have never taken this long. I have never eaten a plant-based anything.
Nor
I stay away from vegetables.
So hard to tell.
And they're fried?
They look normal.
They look a little darker, like a little
You want
crispier.
a beer ready to wash it down?
Yeah, I could use a beer. I had a long night last night with
What should we put? Honey mustard? Is this honey mustard?
one bite. Everybody knows the rules.
Oh, that's okay. That's honey mustard, right?
Yeah, that's honey mustard.
All right.
Are we going together on this?
Yeah, heck yeah, we are. Like a shot. Like a plant-based nugget shot.
This is the problem is when you interview me, we could just late night it so easily.
You ready?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, ready? Oh, let's put one a bit in each.
Oh, okay.
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
Ready?
boy.
All right.
Not bad.
It's definitely not chicken.
No. Definitely not chicken.
It's not horrible. It's not horrible.
These are so good. Come get your plant-based nuggets now. They're so good, I'm just going to go ahead and put this one back down. Yum. Actually, it's not bad.
No,
I'm going to finish it.
Actually pretty good.
No, they're not
They
bad.
taste like chicken. Kind of.
What is it? Do we know what it is?
No,
Do we want to know?
It's plant, Wade.
Well, no, it doesn't look like a plant to me, mate.
I was always told don't ask questions you don't want the answer to.
Yeah. It's a chicken nugget.
And yet you asked her to marry you.
Yeah. Yeah. All the dogs and cats that go missing. I wonder.
Justin Peck, Justin Peck.
Come save us from ourselves.
I think everybody left. You're stuck with me for another 30 minutes.
So good.
What should we talk about that's edgy? Politics?
Oh.
Wade,
Yeah.
with the immigration,
Where's
stuff,
Justin?
how do you get in here?
All right, Justin Peck, paging Justin Peck.
Oh, come on. I won't get us in trouble.
Oh, well, not live on YouTube anymore.
Let's
so.
talk about moonshine.
Yes.
Oh, well.
Yes. Let's do that. Oh, thank God. In fact, Becky.
Hey, come sit down. Oh, hey, I got a story. Last night, we're hanging out, me and Justin, and his beautiful girlfriend, Alex. No, I'm not going to tell that story. She
Yeah.
clogged the toilet.
She'd probably come
She
over here and
clogged
kill
the
you.
toilet. Yep. I'll leave it at that. Don't tell her I told that one.
She probably could hear you back there. She's probably looking for you right now.
Dominic sells everyone. Big hand round of applause for him.
What a psychopath. Try a plant-based nugget, Justin.
No, it's ready to check it out. We promise.
No, I'm good.
Who owns your team? Try
Those
a
are-
plant-based
He
nugget.
owns the track. He owns your team. You should
Come on,
try.
they're not that bad.
They look like
They're
they
not
have
bad.
Johnny written all over it.
Hager Reality Services.
yeah.
So a lot of us saw what happened last night in that A main.
I mean, I'm not 100% sure on the specifics of what actually ended up happening, but I mean, basically blew an engine up. You know, we kind of were moving through the pack there early in that race, and we had a caution with like 7 laps in or whatever it was. And when I got back on the throttle for that restart, it just never fully got up to speed, and I figured, all right, well, I'll just try to make damage control here, try to make do with what we got, and it 2 or 3 laps later, finally, poof.
Well, that kind of puts you in a tough spot. I gotta go look where. Well, either way,
You got to go way down there.
you know what? Dominic said the same thing.
Not as far as Selzy.
Either way, how are you going to go attack this night? I mean, you had a really good Thursday night. You looked good. You finished second. You weren't happy, but the car looked comfortable at least for the most part. You had a front end change, but how do you attack tonight?
Yeah, you're just gonna have to go. I mean, I'm assuming it's 10 laps, kind of like a heat race was, right? These qualifiers are 8
It'll
or
be
10
eight.
laps,
It'll
whatever
be
they
eight.
are. I mean, you're gonna have to go. I know we're not gonna be on the front row, so if worse comes to worse, I mean, at least try to get to second. And if we can get to second, we'll be whatever 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, somewhere in that range. So I mean, you got to put yourself in position, and it's tough to come from the back and win these things, especially with when you have a good group of cars that are here. Yeah, like I said, I don't know. We're just gonna have to be on kill from the get-go. Just try to make smart moves, right? But try to make smart moves in a hurry. So that'll be the game plan. Just try to turn the wick up on this engine and send it.
So other than my other guest before, Justin has been to Australia and has done a very, very good job driving for Domain Ramsey and had a great time there. We don't have plant-based nuggets, by the way. Justin, you're a race car driver. Every track is a different track. Every night is different. But is there any kind of you're home here for this team? Like, this is one of the biggest races they have. You're in the factory car. That's got to be in your mind at some point. I need to put a good showing in. And you looked phenomenal the other night till that Canadian upstart got you.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird deal, right? Because there seems to be pressure, to come here and perform. But at the end of the day, I feel like for us at least, we're pretty confident in our stuff, and I'm pretty confident in my ability to drive. So yeah, you just kind of got to attack it like any other race. And then on top of that, it's you're going for $100,000 too, so that's also in the back of your mind. But just want to do a good job for Kevin and Monica and John and everybody involved here at Skagit Speedway. I know this weekend we've got Angel of Winds on the car, but generally in that spot we'd have Skagit Speedway on the car. So yeah, it's kind of cool. I kind of like, actually, I feel like I'm holding like the home flag. I feel like we're, at least for me, in a different part of the country, but everyone's kind of made me feel like we're at home. So hopefully we can put on a good showing for everybody.
Justin, it's a race car driver's life. You've got to replace people, right? When you get into a new ride, unless it was a brand new ride was established for you, you're coming into an environment where someone else has been doing that job. Is there a certain level of I got to get going right from the start with this, because you've done that before? You've gone from team to team, and I don't mean like you've had lots of teams, but what's that life like?
I don't know. It's just kind of part of it. I guess I'm just used to it at this point. But when you're working deals with other teams and you're looking to make a change, like for me, I knew, my time was coming to an end at the 13 stuff, and I was kind of, shopping around looking for a ride. And truthfully, I thought I had a ride. I thought I was gonna, go drive the 5 car this year. And towards the end of the year last year, that kind of didn't materialize like I thought it was. So I was in a little bit of a scramble mode, and got a hold of Tyler, my crew chief, and he set up a meeting with Kevin, and we met when we were out at Trophy Cup, and just kind of talk about what everybody's goals were, what they wanted to accomplish as a team, and what I wanted to accomplish as a driver. And they aligned pretty well, and they had enough confidence in me to stick me in a race car. So when our first race together was down at Charlotte for the World Finals, and we pulled off 2 podiums there in our first 2 appearances with the Outlaws. So I knew everything was going to be good from that point on. I felt comfortable in a race car. Those guys were had confidence in me to produce on the racetrack. And then we came out the next year and won the first 3 races out, which was at the beginning of the year. So so far everything's been going pretty good. The toughest part for us as a team right now is just trying to get the Ford engines developed kind of like we want them to. They were with Donnie for forever and kind of worked their way towards what he wanted to feel as a driver, and now we're kind of working them back the other way, kind of the way I want him to feel as a driver. So everyone's done a really good job working with Ron Shaver on that stuff. So I think once we get that figured out, we'll be a little bit more consistently up front.
I still feel like it's fair to call the Ford engine new. It's been around for a little bit while, but it still hasn't picked up a lot of traction. What's it like kind of working through a new motor and trying to build up traction on something that, doesn't have the same notebook that Chevy block or that else has had for years?
Well, it's definitely a little bit different, especially this year. We're working with a different head design and a different block design than they had worked with in the past. So it almost kind of feels like we're restarting a little bit. But it's just frustrating when you have issues like you did last night, like something that's out of everybody's control. You have a little bit of an engine issue, and but you got to come back out swinging again the next day. And that's the great thing about sprint car racing is no matter how bad your night was, you usually get to race again the next day or a day or 2 later. So we'll come back out tonight and just try to put that behind us.
How late were you guys up last night changing motor? What was your night like?
Actually, last night was pretty easy. We really just unloaded the car last night. Really didn't do much. Got up this morning, washed it up, and just tried to get ready to race today. Dropped a new bullet in a race car. So those guys were working pretty hard. I know right before I came up here for Fan Fest at 2 o'clock, we were over at Hillier's shop and fired the race car up, and then straight over here. So I guess I can't speak on their behalf, but I'm sure they worked a lot harder than I did.
I mean, when you go to that point, when you cross the line from being a wannabe to a pro, and a pro is a guy that derives pretty well 100% of your income from this industry, do you start thinking immediately, I need a succession plan here, I need to work out what life will be like after racing, because you got to build income as well. You got guys like Danny Smith is a great example, has done nothing but race his whole life. Are you already thinking beyond there? I got to build up some resources, get some properties, like you got to convert something from this life, right? It's brutal.
Yeah, right now I'm for the most part 100% just in on racing, but you kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but I haven't gotten all the way to that point yet, but it's definitely something that everybody has to think about. Like, you got to set yourself up for life after racing. I mean, it could be, you could get hurt at any time and racing's over, or you could lose your ride and maybe not find another one, or maybe you just, lose whatever talent that you had at some point. So, I'm working on it. We're working that direction, but for the most part right now, man, I just, I'm focused on trying to win races and trying to win championships. And, it's hard when you racing at the level that we're racing at night in and night out. It's hard to kind of make your focus go somewhere else. So it's just kind of 100% racing at the moment.
There's a beautiful unpredictability of sprint car racing. You're out here, you get to the lead, you're thinking, I got this sewn up. This upstart from Canada just rails back on by you. Fans light up in the stands. There's a beautiful, you never know when you go to someone's backyard what they're going to do with you.
Yeah, I think, that was one of those races I definitely lost on my own. I mean, he did a really good job of being in the right spot at the right time and passing me and then driving away from me on that restart. But, it was one of those deals. I tried to pass a lap car through the middle of 3 and 4, and I knew it was slow because I watched the lap cars drive away from me, and I thought it'd be a great idea to do it again for 5 or 6 laps and just leave the door open. So, he was able to capitalize on us and then they ultimately drive away from us. But, it's tough, man. Those are the ones that are tough to swallow because you did everything right. Came from 6, took the lead, feel like I was setting a pretty decent pace out front, and then just lost my roadmap and started backing up. But I don't know, man. I met those guys yesterday. They're really nice people, and they were pretty pumped to win it. So I think it's cool, seeing a guy that runs around here locally, being able to throw his name in the hat as a real contender is pretty cool to see.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I didn't mean to brag you out.
Yeah.
Well, Justin, thank you. We'll let you go. And with that, that'll conclude our live show. The Fan Fest is cleaning out, so if we could ask everyone to please get out. And Justin, a big round of applause for him and everyone that we've had on. Thank you and good luck tonight. Got some free snacks, but that'll do it here for our live show.
Gee, are you done finally, Eric? My God, you guys talked a long time.
Ouch, Caleb.
Wow. Like, never heard so much talking since somebody gave me a podcast. My God.
I'm amazed that nobody pulled the pin after Selzy, to be honest with you.
There was plant-based nuggets during that segment. Of course we couldn't pull the pin.
They're actually not that
weren't bad.
That bad?
Well, they're
They
not.
actually were
No,
kinda
I
good.
said not that bad.
Wade, have you ever met a nugget you didn't like? Come on.
Really good point, mate.
There you
really
go.
good point.
Guys, whale of a job. Thank you very much. Eric List, Wade Alger down trackside. Ladies and gentlemen, we need you to clear out from the foyer area and go ahead and pop outside because we got to get up and rolling. I got jobs for Eric and Wade to do here during the night. It's a busy night here at Skagit Speedway. Coming up, night number 3 of the Jim Raper Memorial Dirt Cup, presented by the Angel of the Winds Casino Resort. At this time, we're going to get some tunes back going for you guys. Gates will open at 5 o'clock. Opening ceremonies at